got to slow down and take it easy. Slow down, you got to slow down and take it easy.
Studio video review, and just like the last 2 weeks, I'm gonna keep chugging along with that theme of bargain level cigars, and cigar this week is the Perdomo Fresco. And just give you a quick rundown of what Tabacalera Perdomo has to say about it. And their website goes on to say, Tabacalera Perdomo S.A. introduced the Perdomo Fresco cigar brand to appeal to a broader segment in the premium cigar market. The new Perdomo Fresco blend is comprised of savory long filler tobaccos grown in the rich dark soil of the Perdomo farm in Esteli. The binders are carefully selected from Perdomo's crops in the Jalapa Valley region. Graced with a golden Connecticut shade-grown wrapper, Perdomo Fresco is a mild to medium-bodied cigar that is creamy, smooth, and well-balanced. Consumers may choose from the following traditional sizes packed in eye-catching bundles of 25. Robusto, which is 5x50, and is actually what I have. A Toro, which is 6x50, and Churchill 7x50, and they also offer a Torpedo, which is 6.5x54. And there's a note on here that says, although we're a premium cigar manufacturer, I've always wanted to introduce a new blend at an affordable price for an everyday cigar smoker. States third-generation cigar maker Nick Perdomo. I'm extremely pleased that the cigar enthusiast will be able to smoke a premium, long-filler Perdomo cigar at an incredibly modest price. And what other information I had on this? And I found some other stuff off of, not on the Perdomo site, that says these cigars were originally introduced in 2002 and sold in wheels of 50 with baseball-style cards of Tabacalera Perdomo rollers. And then in 2006, this cigar was reblended, named the Perdomo Fresco, and given a Connecticut shade-grown wrapper. So it's been around a little while. They just reblended it and stuck a band on it. Price at AtlanticCigar.com will run you $33.25 with $5.95 shipping for a total of $39.90. Over 25 cigars will bring you to $1.60 a piece. I was getting these, actually have been getting these locally at my local cigar shop for $1.95. So, and at the time, my thought was that maybe these are new cigars. He's getting promotional pricing for them, and that's why they're so affordable. Because his other Perdomo cigars are, I don't think he has any that are under $6. So I thought maybe it was promotional pricing, but it turns out that they're not. The Perdomo just came out with a very affordable cigar for people on a budget. So let's check it out and see how it goes. Pre-light draw is good. It's got a little bit of firmness to it, but or a little bit of resistance, but overall it's really nice. The feel is very firm, and I was just kind of checking this out before I turned the video camera on, and it feels just rock solid from head to foot. Not too hard, but it feels packed and full. It's nice, and even if you look at the foot, it doesn't seem. It looks dense. It really looks nice. So we'll see how things go. As far as the sheen goes, it sort of looks a little dry. The wrapper looks great though. I mean, very small veins, smooth texture. Looks good, especially knowing that it only costs $1.95. So let's get this bad boy started. For those of you watching on YouTube, and let's hope I get this one up on YouTube. The reason the drawback, or the reason these reviews haven't been on YouTube on a regular basis like before, is that the video size has gone up dramatically with these widescreen formats, and it's just too big for YouTube because they have a 100 megabyte file limit size. So I just haven't gotten around to recompressing the videos and uploading them. I'm going to try to get to that during the week. I'm going to try to actually get this one up as soon as I'm done with the Blip TV upload. So I'll recompress the video, make it smaller, and we'll go from there. So for those of you that watch only on YouTube and don't check out the site, no, I didn't stop doing them. I've just gotten a little lazy, I suppose. And right off the bat, very mild, decent volume of smoke. Burn line looks good so far. I mean, I just lit it, so I don't know. I don't know why it wouldn't look good, but just a talking point, I guess. But cigar's lit. Everything's going pretty well. So I'm gonna take a quick break, get into the cigar a little bit more. I'll be back, and we start with the first third. So see you in just a sec. Welcome back, folks. As you can see, it's gotten a little chilly in here, and I had to throw a sweatshirt on, which actually reminded me of some stuff I have coming up. I have, you know, with the new house and the wedding and everything else, I've got a to-do list that's about a mile long. But I plan on making a do-it-yourself air filter, or like an air cleaner for this room. Progress has came to just about a screeching halt in here, you know, because I had so much other stuff going on. So it looks like I'm going to be in here throughout the winter months, or at least for a little while during the winter months. And right now my current setup is, what I'll do is I'll crack the door behind me, I'll open up the window, put a fan in the window, and then out in another room I'll crack a window. So what happens is I create a draft, comes in back through the house and out this window where the fan's at, and exhausts the smoke, and it does a really good job. But it gets cold in here because, you know, it's cool outside, and obviously, you know, it's cool outside, it's going to get cool in here because I'm drawing in fresh air. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make up a quick air filter and see how it works. I know it's going to work really well, but see how designing it and actually building it comes out. And then, you know, I'll post those plans and you can have them, you know, share the wealth or share the knowledge, I suppose. But actually it was a design that my father came up with, and it worked really, really well. So I'm looking forward to making one for in here. Maybe it'll be a little warmer. But back to the cigar. So far I've been really happy with it. The burn line's nice and even. It's that black ring that you get around the cigar is kind of wide, and it looks a little blistered, but it's not bad overall. It's been nice and slow. I've been plugging away at this for about 35 minutes now, and you know, I'm still in the first third, which is nice. There's a little bit of resistance to the draw, which is nice. I like that. You know, I don't like feeling like I'm sucking on a straw and getting nothing but air and no smoke. In this case, I'm getting, you know, good volume of smoke. It's nice and thick, and it doesn't hang around the room real long. But there's a nice mild room aroma that I find pleasant. The body's pretty mild. I mean, there isn't a whole lot to it. It's just nice and mild. You know, the finish makes up for it a little bit. It's got like a sort of creamy, smooth aftertaste that just hangs on your palate, and it just hangs there for a couple of minutes before it fades away. You know, and then you're left with this nice, crisp, clean feeling, which is always nice as far as I'm concerned. The base flavor is it's very straightforward. It's just like a straight up rich tobacco taste. You know, there's not a whole lot to it, and I'm not really picking up that Nicaraguan zing that Nicaraguan tobacco typically has. And you know, this is coming from the Jalapa Valley in Nicaragua, so it's very straightforward. There's not a whole lot to the cigar. The only extra flavor I'm getting in there is sort of like a mild nutty flavor, which actually could be from the tea that I was just drinking. So, the tea was actually the first time I had it, which surprised me. I thought I had sampled all of the teas that I got from, I can't remember the name of that place. Upton Tea, yeah. And this is sort of like a box of tea that I got not long ago that was just a wicked tea. It was like a milder version. This other stuff that I got was from Twinings from the grocery store. And it was around the time that I had the sinus problems, and I didn't do the review for a week, from the allergies. And I just picked it up because the box said, like really full-bodied, flavorful tea. And I brewed a pot of tea, and I couldn't really smell it. I went into work and got funny looks. It was just. I tried it again after my allergies cleared up, and wow, that stuff was just incredible. It's the tea leaves are dried and put on like bamboo racks, so the box says, and then they're smoked with I think it's bamboo and pine nuts, and the flavor that this thing put out is just way over the top. Don't like it. It's just way too much for me. And this other tea that I just had is it's like that, but 10 times milder. It's got a little bit of that same flavor to it, but this stuff's okay. But I think that may be where the nutty flavor's coming from. I'm not quite sure. All the other times I had this particular cigar was a little later on, more towards the evening. Now it's just afternoon. It's like 11:45. So, we'll see. My palate's a little more sensitive earlier in the day. So it could possibly be from the cigar, but I think it's more from the tea. But we'll know in a few minutes because I just finished the tea and switched over to water. So with that in mind, I'm going to take a quick break. We'll be back and we'll start things up with the second third. So see you in just a sec. Well, here we are again, guys. Still plugging away. I just had to remove the ginormous Perdomo Fresco band, and I actually measured it. It's 1.5 inches. It's pretty big. I think I shouldn't say I think. I have a thing for big bands. I don't like them. I think that the cigar bands look more classy when they're smaller and not so many bright colors and and I'm sure that does catch someone's eye as they're walking through the cigar store and they see this big band, this big colorful attractive band. But I don't know, for me, I look at those big bands as well. There's a lot more potential for it to be glued to the wrapper. You get a lot more surface there, and could be a lot more glue on the wrapper. If I get a band that's stuck and the band is relatively small, chances are I might get a small tear. But with this, if I had to tear this off, I'd get a big tear. And I guess this is one of the things I don't like about these big giant bands. As far as like the most classy band, I think, as far as I'm concerned, I think Padron is the winner there. Nice, small, simple band, and they never really seem to be stuck to the cigar. I really haven't had a whole lot of trouble with them. On occasion I get one, but as far as in the band department, I think Padron is way in the lead with their small, elegant, classy bands. So it has absolutely nothing to do with the cigar, but I just thought I'd throw that in there. So far, I'm happy with the cigar. That real thick, kind of bubbling looking burn line has thinned out considerably. There's no more bubbling. The ash got a little darker in color. It's got dark bands throughout, a fairly light looking ash. It's kind of neat looking. It's nice and compacted, tight ash. You really need to persuade it on the ashtray to knock it off. So I'm getting about 3/4 of an inch. An ash about 3/4 of an inch long before I'm knocking it off, and No burns in the mouse pad or my lap today, so that's a big plus. Really, I'm really glad the ash is under control on this cigar. The draw still got a little bit of resistance, but it puts out a nice big cloud of smoke, as you can just see. It's nice and thick. It doesn't linger around the room too long. You know, it leaves a nice mild room aroma that I really enjoy, and I had mentioned that earlier. The body's starting to creep up a little bit. It's not quite medium to full, or medium, mild to medium, but it's getting there. The finish is it's got like a creamy sort of texture to it. It's easy on the palate. It just hangs around maybe a minute or two, then fades, and you're all ready for the next puff. And it's another really nice feature of the cigar. It doesn't have this really long, lingering finish that becomes overwhelming. It's nice and clean and crisp, and then it's gone, and you're ready for another puff. The base flavor is still it's just like a rich tobacco flavor. There's really not a whole lot to it. It's just just straight away. It's just a tobacco flavor. Now there is like a mild nutty flavor, and since I've switched over to water, I'm still getting it. So that leads me to believe that it's actually in the cigar and it wasn't coming from the tea that I was drinking. So that really about does it for the second third. I mean, it's not a whole lot different from the first third, with the exception of the body's picked up a little bit. It's still smoking really well. Puts off good thick volumes of smoke. It's easy to smoke. I mean, I haven't had to touch it up yet. It's performing well. And that was a big feature there. One of the things about cigars that I really like is if I can sit it down in the ashtray and just forget about it for a minute or two, and pick it up, put it in my mouth, and puff on it, and it's still lit. I love that. I hate it when I have to continually touch up a cigar constantly throughout the cigar, just because of my habits. Take a puff, set it down, relax a second, take a sip of water or whatever, pick it back up again. And, I put it down a minute ago, and I'm picking it up, and it's already I gotta relight it again, and I can't stand that when I get a cigar that makes me smoke faster than what I'm comfortable with. It's just I don't know, it really annoys me. But so far, this cigar's doing really well. It's a decent cigar. There's not a whole lot of twists and turns as far as the flavor goes. It's just a nice cigar, and I just leave it at that. And I'm gonna take a quick break. Be back for the final third and the wrap up, and I'll let you get on your way. So I'll see you in just a second. Welcome back, folks. I'm still plugging along, and down to the final third, getting down towards the nub here, and overall, I'm very pleased with this cigar. Up until just a minute or two ago, the body was it was still creeping towards that mild to medium body level. Not really cresting into the medium range, but staying fairly mild. The finish is nice and smooth. It's easy on the palate. It's got like it still has a sort of creamy texture to it, which is really nice. The base flavor is very straightforward. It's just a natural tobacco flavor with a very mild sort of nutty aftertaste. And overall for $1.95, I mean, I think it's a great cigar. It's not going to distract you from whatever it is you're doing. If you just want to have a cigar in your mouth. You like mild to medium cigars that are going to perform well. Not go out after a couple of minutes sitting in the ashtray. Going to burn nice and even. Not going to drop ash all over the place. I think this is a really good choice. And about a minute or two ago, it just kind of changed. And the change was it's beginning to get a little harsh. And I'm not going to fault the cigar for it, especially not at the price point. It's. I don't mind getting rid of it at this point. I think that I've got more than my money's worth out of it, and overall, I'm just really happy with the cigar. Yeah, I mean, it's still a little harsh, but it's nothing overwhelming. It's not going to make you gag and pitch the cigar away. But it is starting to fall. It hit it's beyond its maximum level of enjoyment. Now it's all downhill. And while it's still, I still like it, but it's not what it was anymore. At about the 1.5-inch mark, it just kind of, that was it. The cigar was done. It told me it was done, and now it's going downhill. Overall, I was very happy with the cigar. I don't think that it's certainly not brimming with complexity. It's very straightforward, one-dimensional, if you may, and there's not a whole lot to it. But it smokes well. It performs well. It's got good construction, and for $1.95, you can't lose. I mean, it's great for people on a budget that like to have a cigar, while they're working with their hands or while they're preoccupied. It's not going to steal your attention away from whatever it is you're doing. Like some of those other cigars where you're trying to do something, but you're puffing away on the cigar and you're just totally engrossed in the cigar and you forget what you're doing. That's certainly not going to happen with this cigar. But I think it's a good, solid cigar, especially at the price. I mean, $1.95 at the local level and $1.60 online. It's a very good cigar for the money, and that's all I have to say about that. But before I get out of here, just want to mention, for anyone who hasn't seen it, make sure you watch episode 21 of Your Questions, My Answers. I think it's 21. Your question. No, I don't know. I'm getting all confused with these acronyms. The YQMA. I think it was episode 21, and we're going to be filming episode 22 kind of midweek. So if you haven't answered the MQYA question, go ahead and do that. Make sure you get your entry in by mid afternoon on, say, Wednesday. Well, we're looking to record on Wednesday, so get your answer in. That'll get you entered for the Arganese sampler, and that's that. If you're not quite sure how to go about doing it, there's instructions in the video. There's also a phone number attached to the post, and you can call up and give me your answer. Basically, I'm just looking for who you would want to blend, your cigar, the cigar for you. Who would you want blending it? What do you want it called? And what are some of the characteristics in that cigar that you would like? So, there's more detailed information in the Your Questions, My Answer video. So, head over there, check that out, and don't forget to call in. So, with that said, I'm going to sign off here. Thanks everyone for watching. Really appreciate all the feedback and support we've gotten over the past year and a half. So with that said, happy smoking, and I'll catch you next week.